Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm gonna give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai,
At
by
Eye Care
Hashem,
Associates,
Yahweh.
we want to thank
I'm gonna give all honor and glory. Hold on, let me get
anyone
this.
working with the public for their commitment with a
This is
I wanna give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Dash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, the great millstone, rule well. Being the great example to the younger brothers in the truth, and peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. And Lord willing is edifying. You know, I was trying to do something and it messed my video up, so I'm gonna redo it. You know, without putting my face in it off the camera. But Lord willing is edifying. This is a video from Dabu. You know, about Biden finna sign some executive orders on warrantless gun seizure. You know, basically take people guns without a warrant, man. You know, and that's gonna cause uproars from people, man. Sedition, and the precept that came to mind was this second Exodus chapter 15 and verse 14. It said, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. And there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their own power, man." You know.
Abu 7. As we're getting word that Biden is set to unleash a bunch of executive actions here in terms of guns, just this last week, the Supreme Court heard arguments in a case that goes back to 2015. In this case, there was two individuals, a man and his wife, that were arguing. The woman had feared that her husband might commit suicide after they had an argument. The police show up, and the man spoke calmly to the officers, said he would never kill himself, and the police then bullied him into going to a psychiatric care facility. They lied and said that they would not confiscate his firearms while he was away. The facility immediately released this man because his mental health was fine. The police then lied to Edward's wife, saying that her husband gave police permission to enter the home and to remove his firearm, which they proceeded to do, and they did. Afterwards, this man, Edward, had sued. His firearms were returned, but the court had ruled that the police had acted properly in seizing the guns based on what they call community care. The appeal now from Edwards has made it to the Supreme Court. Just last week, the Supreme Court had Biden send in goons to argue on behalf of the officers. In other words, the Biden administration is in favor of a court decision that would allow police to enter homes and to confiscate firearms without a warrant and in the name of this community care. Now, the lawyers for the police officer argued that a precedent for the community care exemption for the Fourth Amendment should be set here because it had only applied to impounded vehicles, and they say that this should also apply to homes. Now, while other exemptions here to the Fourth Amendment require an immediate emergency, this one does not. If the Supreme Court ultimately agrees, it would weaken the Fourth Amendment protection against unreasonable search and seizure, especially as it applies to firearms. This is something that we're going to break down thoroughly on the next live stream. Make sure to join us going live tonight. Going live.
That's pretty much the point. But let's get this in Genesis, and the reason I say it's gonna be, Esau ain't gonna give up his blessing, man. This Genesis chapter 27 and verse 37, it say, "And Isaac answered him and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord," talking about Jacob, "and all thy brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son?" And Esau said, and Esau is a so-called white man, Jacob is so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, Seminole Indians, Hispanics, and those who resonate with this word and sprinkle among the heathen, man. You know, it say, and Esau said unto his father, has thou but one blessing, father? Have thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, my father. O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. You know, meaning he gonna be in all the plush places. And the dew of heaven from above. This nigga ruled the whole earth. It's lucky about that. If it ain't one thing, it's motherfucking another, man. Isaac get the precept right here. Back in Genesis chapter 27 and verse 30. What was I? I'm going to reread it. 39, it say, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. And the fatness of the earth, he ruling the whole earth, you know. He dwell in all the plush places, you know, all these vacation resorts and shit like that. Esau own that, man. And he go there, you know, as pleased, man. You know, he live in all the best places, man. And what Jacob at in the hoods, you know, can't travel, can't do shit, broke as hell, you know. It say and of the dew of heaven from above, you know, he gonna rule the earth, so to speak, you know. And by the sword shalt thou live, and that's going to the modern day gun, man. You know, these devils, they love their guns, man. They worship guns, they worship their weaponry. You know, they trust in it, man. We don't trust in that shit, because like the scriptures say, the weapons of our warfare is not carnal, man. You know, it say, and by the sword shalt thou live, and thou shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck, you know. But that's pretty much the point on it, you know. Let's get this last one, and I'm gonna close it out. Isaiah. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 19 and verse 1. It say, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come unto Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the earth, Salakia, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, you Americans against each other. Because America is the modern day Egypt, spiritual Egypt. You know, spiritually, that great city was spiritually called Sodom and Egypt in Revelation 11 and 8. It's saying, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight one against another. They shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And and that's pretty much the point, you know. But hey, it ain't gonna be, you know, Esau ain't just gonna bogart in people's houses and take their guns, man. You know, as far as the Edomites, so to speak. Why? Because this is their blessing, man. That's all Esau know, man. That's all this nigga know. It's his sword, man. You know, so you think you just gonna walk up and take it, and then you just do whatever you want to him? Esau ain't going for that, man. Esau already don't trust the government, man. You know. But that's pretty much the point, Lord willing, this edifying. I want to end it giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone, rule well, being the great example to his younger brothers in the truth. And peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. That Shalom, Kwam Yashala, the Bob. Shalom.